caldo mai visto. Se non vedo questi messaggi io. Ora sì. Ok. Ciao guys. Okay, I hope you can see me. Okay, here we are. Ciao guys. Welcome. Here we are for the deadline day. Busy day, yeah, with many things happening. My phone is exploding. I will start explaining to you guys how it will work today. So basically, I wanted to bring a different format this year. So short live streams. We will be here on YouTube, on all my channels, all day long, updating on all the main stories. I will come here. I'm with Matteo, who's working with me to update you on all the latest and to give you all the updates. So we will come here, YouTube, all the platforms, check and give you all the latest minute by minute. I wanted to start with Chelsea to say something on Christopher Nkunku because I saw many questions already on that, and thanks for waiting here on the channel. Nkunku is not going to Manchester United. That's the indication at the moment. There are also no more discussions with any other club. Why? Because Christopher Nkunku, from what I'm told, never wanted to go on loan. The only option was for Chris Nkunku to go on a permanent transfer somewhere at the beginning of the market. So there were several possibilities, including Bayern. Man United were interested in a swap with Garnacho, then nothing happened with Chelsea. So Christopher Nkunku is expected to stay because he didn't want to go on loan. So unless today someone arrives with 70 million pounds, the idea of Chelsea is to keep Nkunku. Who can leave Chelsea is Joao Felix. So let's follow the situation today for Joao Felix, because we know about Milan interest, we know about more clubs also interested. Chelsea could be open to a loan move for Joao Felix. So there are discussions. Jorge Mendes, the agent of the player, is working on that. Let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of opportunities he will bring to Chelsea in terms of financials, in terms of proposal. We know Chelsea always ask for important loan fees, but Joao Felix will be one to watch. Barcelona news at the moment, no. What I can tell you is that Barcelona decided to focus on contracts for this transfer window. We saw with Araujo, Gerard Martin, Pablo Gavi, Pedri. The next one will be Inigo Martinez very soon. So Barcelona are focusing on new contracts and then Lamine Yamal, not on new signings. Then on Garnacho, guys, at the moment, no indications of movements on Alejandro Garnacho. If something happens today, we will be together. I will let you know. But at the moment, no indications of movements. Napoli were interested in Garnacho, and now Napoli are working on a deal for Noah Okafor on loan with buy option from AC Milan. But only if they can't get Allan Saint-Maximin. The top target is Allan Saint-Maximin, but still waiting to see if they can make it happen on the legal point of view with this triple deal involving Fenerbahce and Al Ahly. Many questions on Tottenham. Tottenham are still working on the situation for a centre-back. Let's see what happens with Disasi, because Disasi rejected the first proposal from Tottenham. He wants to go to Aston Villa, but Chelsea don't want to sell the player to Aston Villa, to loan the player to Aston Villa. The player has an agreement with Aston Villa, Chelsea have an agreement with Tottenham. That's the situation with Disasi. So let's see now how they will manage it, but the Disasi situation depends on what the player will decide to do, if he will open doors to Tottenham or not. At the moment, from what I'm told, Tottenham are still in contact with Chelsea and are the favorite options for Chelsea to approve. But Chelsea are still not approving Aston Villa because they are in Champions League contenders. And being Champions League contenders for Chelsea means that for that spot is important for them not to give any player to Aston Villa. So let's follow the situation. Also important to mention, guys, the situation of Marco Asensio. For Marco Asensio, there is concrete paperwork now with Aston Villa. What happened? Why the deal was not official and Rashford yes. Paris Saint-Germain needed to sell one player to free one low spot, and the player will be Chernour, who is going to Fiorentina, and now Marco Asensio can sign his contract at Aston Villa. So all done for Asensio to Villa. Questions on Arsenal. I see many Arsenal fans. Guys, on that, I can guarantee to you that Arsenal are still talking, are still trying to find the right opportunity. Let me explain something on Arsenal. I think it can take a minute, but it's worth it for Arsenal fans. It's important to say that Arsenal wanted to do something important to back Mikel Arteta. We know they had a bid rejected for Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins was open to the move, but Aston Villa want to keep the player. Unai Emery wants to keep the player. This is really important. Unai Emery pushing to keep Ollie Watkins. And so what happened? Arsenal, even before in the market, tried to approach for Benjamin Sesko, Alexander Isak. These two are the big names they want to try to bring in for the summer. For January, they're not available, but for the summer, Arsenal want to try. So what happens now? They're looking for an opportunity. They had a call yesterday with the agents of Matistel, but from what I'm told, at the moment, the Matistel deal for Arsenal is not progressing. The Matistel story remains open. Let's see what happens with other clubs, and let's see what Bayern will decide to do. Many questions on Ryan Cherki. Borussia Dortmund are really trying to make it happen, calling Olympique Lyon. They have an agreement with the player, I told you a few days ago, but still no green light with Olympique Lyon. Why? Because in France, the release clauses are not legal. So Cherki doesn't have a release clause into his contract. With a release clause, normally in football, you go there, you pay the money to the league, not even to the club. You go to the headquarters of the league, you pay the money, and you sign the player. In this case, it's not a release clause, because in France, there are no release clauses. So what Borussia Dortmund are doing is trying to respect the verbal agreement between Cherki and Olympique Lyon for the exit at 22.5 million euros. But Olympique Lyon insists that some conditions of this agreement are not met, and so they want to keep Cherki and eventually sell him in the summer. So let's see what happens, but at the moment, Lyon are saying no. For Olympique Marseille, pushing for a midfielder, in talks for Ismael Bennacer with Milan, loan with buy option proposal sent. The player is keen on the move, but let's see if Milan will approve. Fagioli, another option from Juventus. Many questions on Nico Gonzalez. Man City are negotiating with Porto. Talks are ongoing. Porto president André Villas-Boas wants the release clause. 60 million euros. City wanted to pay something around 45, maybe 50. Different payment terms, different payment structure. Discussions ongoing. The agent is the same of Joao Felix, George Mendes, who will be really busy today with Nico Gonzalez, who already said yes to Manchester City. The contract of Nico Gonzalez is ready. And remember, that's important, that Barcelona have 40% sell-on clause for Nico. So that would be massive for Barca in terms of money income for Nico Gonzalez, and that would really help the club in terms of financials. On Arsenal, we already explained the situation. Many questions on Galatasaray. Guys, I gave you, I think, the bomb of the market in Turkey with Alvaro Morata, exclusive story to Galatasaray. Galatasaray also working for a right back. There is interest in Kieran Trippier from Newcastle. Let's see if Galatasaray will be able to agree it. Then, let me check my phone. Let me check. Okay, Cambiaso, I don't have an indication that the Cambiaso deal is happening now. Cambiaso remains a name on Manchester City list for the summer transfer window, but for today, deadline day, at the moment, there are no indications on Manchester City proceeding on a deal with Juventus for Andrea Cambiaso, who remains, remember, a name for Man City in the summer, but for now, it looks complicated. Unlikely, I would say. Nico Williams, guys, I don't know why you're asking me about Nico Williams, but at the moment I don't have anything to tell you. Joao Felix, we already said about AC Milan, about interest also from other clubs, so we have to follow the situation of Joao Felix till the end, because there is a chance for him to leave. Remember that if Joao Felix leaves Chelsea on loan, Anselmino can't go to Olympique Marseille on loan. So there is one loan spot left. Why? Because Karni Chukwuemeka is going to Borussia Dortmund. Medical today, loan deal, the buy option is the release clause, £40 million, even more from what Chelsea included in the contract with Borussia Dortmund. So that's the point. On Cherki, we already said Benfica, Andrea Belotti arrived this morning, done deal with Como, and also Samuel Dal is coming very soon from Roma. Roma very busy today. Victor Nelson, new centre back from Galatasaray. Salah Eddin, new left back from Twente. So both signings are done for Roma. Ricci, no movements at this point, but let's see what happens, guys, with Ismael Bennacer. It's really important to see what happens with Bennacer, because Marseille are trying, but for Milan, obviously, he's an important player. What I can guarantee to you is that Bennacer would be keen on a move to Olympique Marseille. Even losing Champions League football with Milan, he would be open to go to Olympique Marseille. But again, let's respect Milan and say what they want to do with this negotiation, because it's a loan with buy option. So we will see. Gregor Kobel, no movement for January, absolutely, all quiet. Tottenham attacker, we will see. 2 days ago they called for Leon Bailey at Aston Villa, but at that point Aston Villa were confident to sign Joao Felix from Chelsea. Now Chelsea are not opening the doors for Joao Felix or for Disasi on loan to Aston Villa because they are direct competitors for Champions League spot, so we will see. Guys, I think we're done for this first live. We will be back very soon here on the channel. Today is going to be like this. I will enter and give you all the updates. So coming very soon. Stay tuned here on YouTube and see you later. Ciao.